Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm so excited today. I'm starting my seeds and I'm so excited. First of all, the weather is nice, but secondly, it's seed starting time, and that just tells me spring is around the corner, summer's around the corner, and harvest is around the corner. Okay, so I already have my seed starting mix here. I don't know if you can see it. This is peat moss, a little bit of vermiculite, there's cocoa core, yeah, there, and perlite, of course, to help with the drainage. But I am so excited. But yeah, let me know where you guys are watching from. I already have my seed cells, I have the tray, I have a ton of seeds that I'm starting. And I already have my labels, because do you guys ever do this where you're like, oh, I'll just label it later, and then you don't end up labeling it, and you're like, you know what, I'll just wait until it grows and then I'll figure out what it is. I'm not doing that this year. I'm labeling everything. See, everything has a label. So yeah, I'm gonna start by filling this up, because I think I should just do this in sections. I'm not gonna pack that in too tightly, just enough to where it's full. There's enough dirt, or I guess soil, in there, but then there's enough space for the roots to grow in. Okay, that's one. I should probably do a video for you guys to show you what I put in my seed starting mix. It's pretty much basic stuff, just something light. See, and then I already pre-moistened this, so it's wet, but it's not too wet. So it's wet enough to where, look at that, it would hold its shape, but it doesn't have that much water inside. Because after I put everything in, I'm still going to mist it with a spray bottle. So you don't want it too wet. Yeah. But I have a different video where I started my okra already. The weather was really beautiful a couple of days ago, so I started okra, whatever you guys call it. Sometimes I call it okra, sometimes I call it okra. I'm just gonna push that in a little bit, right? Just compact it a little, but not too much. I'll do the other one. Yep. Okay, this is all done. I still have a lot of this seed starting. I made a huge batch this time around, of which I'm still going to use it, but for now I'm just starting mainly my tomatoes and peppers. I started okra a couple of days ago, so this I'm still going to use it, maybe in a different video, but for now this is what I have. I was thinking of starting my sweet potato as well to get the sleep, so this is this for now. So I just took out most of the excess dirt. I just put a little left. I have my tomatoes for this year. So excited. Yellow pear. Let me show you guys the tomatoes. Yellow pear. I've done this for the past 2 years now, and listen, if you've never tried a yellow pear, this is your year to start it. Super sweet. This is my first year doing super sweet. I typically do sweet million, but I'm like, let's try it. Let's do something else and see if see how that works. This is super sweet tomato. Never tried this one, but it's supposed to be like a beef steak, so we'll try it. San Marzano, tried it last year. Excellent, fantastic tomato. Doing it again this year. Big boy, did big boy last year as well. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, doing it again this year. The San Marzano one, I loved how it grew, right, in bunches. And for my research, the Roma tomato is actually a hybrid from San Marzano. If you look at it, San Marzano comes out like thinner, if you look at the picture, which is very close to what Roma tomato ends up looking like. So yeah, I still have a little bit of seeds left. This is just a regular pen, so I'm going to, let's do this, poke it this way, just down a little bit, right, and then put the seeds in there, just cover it up. I typically plant 1 to 2 seeds per cell, depending on what I'm planting. That way at least one has a chance to grow. Okay, this one only has a few seeds inside, so I'm just gonna dunk it out. Yeah, I think this was my what's it called from last year, my seed packet from last year, but I'm doing 2 in each cell for this one, and I already have my labels right here. San Marzano right there. Okay, and I'll just cover it up. I don't know if you guys can see it. I put it in there already, and I'll just cover it up a little. Do not make that mistake of saying I'll label it later. Trust me, you're not gonna like it. You are not gonna like it. So that's, yes, this is all done because it was a great producer last year. I think this one and a sweet cherry tomato, so maybe like a cherry or a sweet million or sweetie, something along those lines, just cherry size but sweet. Those would be like a staple in my garden every year. What next? Let's do the yellow pear. So the yellow pear, it tastes like a tomato, but it's not very tomatoey. It's not, definitely not sweet, but it also doesn't have a lot of acid, so it's not very tomatoey, and it's very fleshy. So when you bite into it, it's you feel it like you're actually chewing, chewing something. Let me put it this way so you guys can see it. Okay, so yeah, you actually feel it like you're chewing, a tomato, and it's juicy, very fleshy, very juicy, but it's not juicy like a Roma tomato that just has like water coming out, of which I don't know why the grocery stores don't sell it, because I guess I've never seen it at the grocery store. I haven't even seen, apparently there's a red pear tomato as well. I haven't seen that as well. But so what I'm doing here, just to save time, so yellow pear, instead of doing like a whole bunch of labels for each one, I'm putting them in groups. So 1, 2, I think 1, 2, don't do this. 1, 2 San Marzano, and then 1, 2 yellow pear. So put it in right there. That way I know like whatever is in front of the seed cells is what's in there. Okay, so I've covered this up. Yellow pear's done. We'll be back next year. This is just 1 seed packet. I bought it last year. I think the first year I bought a start from one of the nurseries in town, but this time around I decided I might as well just buy the seeds, of which this still works. Next, super soup. I think. How do you open this? Never tried this one, but it produces 4 to 6 ounce fruits, semi-determinate. So let's try it and see how this one is. Where's my super soup? I'm just going to put the label. I'm going to put the label first. That way I know exactly what I'm doing. So label goes in there. I'm putting 2 seeds per cell, and I'll just cover it up. 2 seeds per cell, cover it up. Now that's just one. I get a second one. And the whole purpose of doing this is just better germination. If both of them germinate good, but then whichever one is stronger, that one gets, planted out in the summer whenever I, transplant out my seeds. Let's do Big Boy. I tried Big Boy last year. Loved it. This one, what does it do? Deep red slicing tomatoes, some up to 2 pounds. I didn't see any 2-pound tomatoes. Well, but I actually didn't even have a skill. But you know how like if it's actually 2 pounds, like when you harvest it and you wait, you're like, oh, this is big. But no. And this one are pelleted seeds. This is my first time planting pelleted seeds. I don't know if you could see that. I'll bring it out for you to see them. So this is Big Boy. So do you see it? I don't know why they're in pellets, but they are in pellets. I'll see if this ones take longer to germinate compared to the ones that are just like actual seeds. I got this seed packet from a kit. It came with like the bean, the humidity dome and everything. and then it came with extra seeds as well, which I'm like, oh, I don't mind, I'll plant it. Otherwise I'll have probably just gotten the big boy by itself. So that's big boy. First time doing pelleted seeds. I'll let you guys know how it goes. It shouldn't make any difference though, in my opinion, but super sweet. So typically I do sweet million, but this year we're doing super sweet. Let's see how it goes. I think one of the fun things about gardening is it's like you plant it with expectation, right? And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna wait and see how everything goes. But then you actually have to do the work, to actually see your expectations come to pass. And I see that as, as Christians, well, as a Christian, I don't know if you guys are Christians, but as a Christian, how the Bible says, walk out your faith with fear and trembling, which means don't just have faith, don't just have an expectation. Actually do something about it. If you're trusting God for something, believing God for something, there are also steps that you have to take to see that thing come to you. If you're believing God for a job, you have to go and apply. If you're believing God for breakthrough in your business, right, first of all you have to start the business, and then after you start the business you have to advertise, like put yourself out there, like all those big companies that advertise, that's their way of putting themselves out there, right, so that the right people would see them and actually patronize them, but yeah. So we're done with the tomatoes. I actually had a tag for beefsteak. I thought I had a beefsteak seed packet here, but I guess not. Eggplant. So this is African eggplant, also known as garden egg, because kind of sort of looks like an egg, but also known as garden egg. I planted, so I think my first year I got seeds, garden egg seeds from someone in Atlanta. Perfect, everything was fine. Last year I found, but I didn't like the shape. Yeah, the shape that the seeds that I planted, I think 2 years ago, I didn't quite like the shape. So I got this one. This is from True Love Seeds. I got it from them, and I actually liked it. It took a while to produce fruit last year, but when it did, it was just like perfect. So we're doing garden egg again this year. And then I got this white eggplant. Honestly, the whole purpose of planting this is just to compare. It's just to compare this to this. So this is Casper. This is eggplant, and it's Casper eggplant, of which they're both in the same family. Okay, Solanum Ethiopicum. This one doesn't have its name on it, does it? No, it doesn't. But they're both in the same family, so we're just going to plant it. I've had great success with this. It tastes very much like the ones I had growing up in Nigeria. Like I said, 2 seeds in each cell. Nope. Don't forget this. This goes first. So that, put the seeds in, cover it up. Get you guys to see how I'm doing it. Thank you for joining me to plant my garden for this year. I'm so excited. And I'm also redoing my garden from last year. Last year I had a whole bunch of mineral tubs, but this year I'm switching. I should probably just do one more in there. I'm switching things up. I'm going to do a mixture of mineral tubs and raised beds. Mineral tubs because I heard, I haven't done the experiment, but I heard peppers do better in containers, of which my peppers did. I posted a video of my peppers from last year. My peppers did phenomenal last year. Like I was harvesting so many peppers. I gave out a lot. So last year I had like habanero, jalapeno, scotch bonnets, of course bell peppers, different colors of bell peppers, and they did so well, so well that I tried my hands at saving the plants. So I uprooted the plants, put them in a different bin. Oh, white eggplant. Put them in a different bin, and then brought them into the garage. I know there's a term for it, for like saving the plants, but I think I'll do an update video on that to see whether or not those things actually, I know they survived for sure because I see them almost every day there in my garage, but in terms of whether or not they would actually produce for this season, I'm not 100% sure, but I have faith. Okay, if I didn't have faith, I wouldn't have uppotted them and transferred them into smaller pots and try to save them. So I have faith. I believe they would survive. And so here's the other thing. After I did that, I didn't label it. So now I have a whole bunch of pepper plants that I saved with no labels. So I have some bell peppers and some hot peppers. Oh, ghost pepper. I had ghost pepper last year as well, of which I don't even eat spicy food like that. I do eat spicy food, but not that spicy. But guess what? I had the ghost pepper plant and I gave out like 70% of the peppers I got from there because I was like, this is way too hot. But I saved the plant regardless. Okay, let's do our peppers. I thought I was going to plant a whole bunch of stuff. That's why I got the 72 seed cell tray. So maybe I should just like increase the number of cells I'm planting for each one, you know. But this is California Wonder sweet pepper. I already have my labels. We are not playing about our labels. Right here. Okay, goes there. I think I used this last year or 2 years ago. No, I used last year actually. And for whatever reason, like, I appreciate that they put a whole bunch of seeds in each, you know, packet that we buy, but I actually don't end up using all the seeds in one season, you know. But then again, if they sold a whole packet for like $5 and they only came with like 5 seeds, I would be really, really pissed. So California, when I have 1 seed left there, I might as well just plant that 1 seed. I'd know that I'm done with this seed packet and saving the whole paper for just, you know, 1 seed. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, what else? Habanero. Some of my seeds are dollar store seeds, okay? Like, I do not discriminate about where to buy seeds from, you know. Some people only buy seeds from certain places. Because I feel like once you plant it in the ground, what matters most, of which, you know, some people would debate this, but that's habanero. What matters most is like your soil, your dirt, how you fertilize, you know, the sun, how you water. Like, there are a whole bunch of like external conditions that determine how well a plant does outside of the seed. So I had like a little bit of extra dirt I was gonna pour on this, but I don't even think they need it. So that's habanero. This is my first time trying this one. It's hot pepper, long thin cayenne. I'm gonna be trying this year. Majority of the peppers I grow, outside of red bell peppers, majority of the peppers I grow, I actually just give them out because, I mean, I eat spicy food, but not to the extent of which I grow, you know, peppers. But yeah, I was reading my Bible the other day and I was talking about, like, you know how God gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Like, whatever place you find yourself, you know, God will give you what you need in that season. So right now I'm in a season of planting, right? And God has made sure that I have, where's my cayenne? God has made sure that I have seeds because right now I'm a sower, of which He's going to bless my efforts to make sure that I also become an eater by making sure that my plants grow. Do you guys ever pray on your transplants whenever you plant them out? I do. I pray to the Lord of the harvest, of which that's God, and I say, God, let me put this here instead. So this is cayenne pepper. I'm like, God, I've planted all my stuff. You are the God of the harvest. Bring fruitfulness to my garden. Let me harvest, you know, let my expectations not be cut short, because if I'm planting all of this, I'm expecting a harvest. Okay, I'm going to do everything I need to do. Faith without works is dead. So I'm going to do everything I need to do to make sure, you know, I harvest stuff. This is cayenne pepper, by the way, but I need you to breathe on my garden, you know, let my garden be fruitful. And you know, God has really answered my prayers, really. You know, God answers prayers, even for like the very, in quotes, inconsequential things, like planting a garden. Because some people do it for fun. For me, it's a hobby. I also like that I know where my food is coming from. Oh, by the way, I'm going to start my spring garden pretty soon. I think once I rearrange my garden and put in all the raised beds I need, I'll start my spring garden. I have no clue why I'm planting this much cayenne pepper, but I'm going to plant it regardless because I am going to give out a whole bunch of it. But yeah, God gives bread to the eater and seed to the sower, and he has provided the seeds. Actually, some of the seeds were free. Oh, let me tell you guys, some of the seeds were free. Some of them I bought, some of them were free. So the Master Gardener program in the place I live, they had like an event at the farmers market giving out free seeds, and I went and I got a whole bunch of free seeds. So some of this, that like, you know, like the yellow pea, I bought it last year, but like I don't have any of the free ones with me yet. I think the grow big that I sowed in my other video with the tomatoes, it was free. That's why I'm planting it. Typically I just plant Clemson spineless. Don't forget your spray bottle. Clemson spineless. That's what I, you know. But then I saw grow big and I was just like, oh, let's try that. So this will get a good watering with a spray, but they don't need too much water, just, you know, a little bit of soaking. And then they're gonna go under a grow light and onto a heat mat. I'll show you guys in a minute. Okay. So we have a couple more peppers. Chinese sweet pepper. This is Chinese Giant. Planted this last year. Loved it. This is the first time I'm planting this one. This is Grand Bell Mix. And the reason I'm so excited about this is because you don't know what you're gonna get until it ripens. So you know how like all bell peppers start out as green and then they ripen to like a different color. So this is like the patience game. You just be patient for it to ripe, and then you see exactly what you planted. So I'm really excited about this one. Got this one from the dollar store. So it has a mixture of like red, orange, purple. Never tried purple sweet bell peppers. So let's see how this goes. But I'm definitely planting, you know, Chinese Giants, red. Obviously they all start out, what's this? Yeah, that's it. I have the label already. They all start out green and then change. So at least with this ones, better off just doing this. With this ones, you know exactly what you're gonna get. Mystery is what we don't know regarding the other one. I'm so excited. I said I'm so excited so many times because gardening really makes me excited. Like, it's just that thing where, you know, and even in the Bible, God uses the plants as examples a lot of times, you know, talking about our field, our plant, our farmlands, and all those things, because gardening is important to God. That's how we get our food. Okay, maybe not gardening, but planting. Jesus talked about the parable of the sower, you know, just examples here and there where Jesus talked about planting, because that's, I mean, if we didn't plant stuff, how are we going to get food? You know, they're not going to plant themselves. They're not like zinnias. Zinnias are those flowers that come back year after year because they seed themselves. Tomatoes don't seed themselves. Okay, for whatever reason, I didn't make a label for this, but I'm going to make a label for this right now, right after I plant it. I'm going to do it right now. So 2 seeds. Funny enough, when I came outside, the weather was sunny, little windy, but not chilly or anything. Now I'm ready to take off the sweater because it's not playing. It is the sun. It's not playing. I love the way it's like glistening on my skin, but it's not playing anymore. So this is Grand Bell Mix. Let's see what we get. Right there. Okay. This is Serrano chili. It says Serrano chili, but it honestly looks like jalapenos, you know, of which I've planted. I think I had the seed packet is open, so I strongly think I had this last year. I don't remember, but I had something like this and jalapenos last year, because last year I did a mix of seeds and starts from a nursery. So I'm not even sure what I had last year. I'm going to do better with labeling them after I plant them this year. Typically I'm very good with labeling them you know, when I'm doing seed starting. But once I transplant everything in the garden, like I don't even pay attention to what is where, like, because I do with the tomatoes, I put everything, not the tomatoes, the peppers, I plant multiple peppers in a mineral tub. So it's until after they grow, I'm just like, oh wait a minute, there was green bell pepper here. Oh, this is Hungarian yellow wax. Got this from the dollar store. Never tried it. It looked like a banana pepper. I've done banana pepper, you know, constantly in the past couple of years, which banana peppers are sweet. This one is the medium hot pepper. So let's try it. It wouldn't hot, right? And one of the joys of gardening is that if I don't like it, there's probably someone who loves it, and I would gladly give it to them, joyfully give it to them, because it's, you know, homegrown. Okay, we're almost done. I have an appointment I need to run to. Rosemary and thyme. I had a herb bucket last year. I had sage, rosemary, and thyme. The thyme didn't even grow at all, so I just had a ton of sage and rosemary. But I'm gonna start rosemary and thyme for this year, and hopefully the thyme does what it's supposed to and grows on time. Did you get the joke? Okay, this is, I need to do better with opening the seeds packets. So this is rosemary. I already have the labels for this as well. Should probably just put it there before I, you know. I typically do rosemary from the nursery. So I've never seen the seeds. Or if you've never seen the seeds, this is exactly what they look like. Brown and tiny. So I'm just throwing a whole bunch. I'm not even counting, because why would I count? It's so tiny. So I plan to do like a whole bunch of rosemary around the beds this year. I had a lot of flowers last year, and those flowers really came true. Like, I obviously I do organic gardening, so I don't do any pesticides or whatnot outside of like neem oil, which I hardly ever do. Like, I have it, but it's one of those things that you just have it just so you have it when you need it. But yeah, I didn't. Those flowers came true. I had a ton of zinnias, marigolds, silosa. There's some flowers I didn't even know how to pronounce their name, but they came true. Ooh, the seeds are tiny. Maybe that's why the ones from last year didn't grow, because I probably planted them too deep. Do you see how tiny they are? That's a whole bunch of seeds. So I'm just gonna like sprinkle this ones on the top. Yeah. Give it a good watering. Okay. That is it for now. For now. Until I go to the store again and find like a new seed. New seed species that I've never tried, and I'm like, oh, I should probably try this. And then when I try it, I'll probably do a video or something. But that's it. Spritz it real good. Real good. Come on. I don't think cover that. Yeah. I still have one whole row of stuff that I could put there. I'll figure out something to put there. Maybe beefsteak tomato or something. I don't know. Figure something out. But yeah, this is it. A good watering. We're gonna go in here. The other one. I'm gonna put the humidity dome on there. That way, just a little extra. Shouldn't hurt, right? Put the humidity dome on there. Put it on my grow shelf. I'll show you guys in a minute, and we should be good to go. Yay!